Hello again. Our cafe diners have already sampled top chef Stuart Gillies' rather fancy fish and chips. I think it's gone down all right.
And we found that some of the world's best cheeses are British, and there's even more to come.
Tom serves up his version of the British favourite fish and chips for today's challenge.
Food writer and cook Clodagh McKenna plates up her savoury goat's milk cheese and leek pancakes to a hungry crowd of shoppers at the market.
And Chef Stuart Gillies shows us the best method to unmask artichoke hearts in the masterclass.
Every week we challenge a top chef to create a special version of Britain's best-loved dishes. Today it's the ultimate fish and chips challenge. Chef Stuart Gillies has already shown us how he likes to cook this British classic, and now it's Tom's chance to win over the diners with his own recipe. Tom?
Well, I'm only cheating a little bit, but I think you'll appreciate why I'm playing dirty. Earlier this year, I was one of the judges of the Fish and Chip Shop of the Year competition, and I found what I think is perfection. So rather than muck around and come up with my own recipe, I've convinced David Henley here of Henleys in Wivenhoe in Colchester to give me a helping hand and reveal their secret recipe. David, where do we start?
Tom, you always have to start with a good batter mix.
Fantastic. OK, so what's the first thing we need in the batter?
First thing you need to do is always chill your water down half an hour before you need it.
OK.
So you're going to put it in the fridge, refrigerate it down for half an hour so it's nice and chilled.
So we have the chilled water. Next up, what's the next thing we need?
Next is some plain flour.
So the plain flour here. OK, so here's the plain flour. And this is just normal plain, no self-raising, normal plain white
Just regular
flour.
plain flour.
Fine. How much do you need of that?
Really,
I mean,
you don't need to worry too much about measurements as such.
Yeah.
The consistency should be similar to a thick double cream.
Thick, fantastic. Okay, so the thick double cream consistency. Yep. So you've got the flour and the chilled water in there, you're just sieving it through. The next ingredient, what would that be?
It would be 2 tablespoons of baking powder.
So we have the baking powder here. Now, what does this baking... Nice old retro tin. What does this baking powder do?
It actually helps to make the batter, quite sort of fluffy.
Yeah.
It's not flat at all. Actually gives it a bit of a lift, really.
Yeah, OK.
Right,
so
we'll try that.
Let's get that powder out here. There we go. So put that... So how much do we need of that? Just 2 teaspoons, would you say?
2 teaspoons. Also, what we'd like is a bit of a trade secret here, Tom.
Yep.
Is some good malt vinegar.
So with the vinegar here... Now, this is the secret ingredient. This is something that... I don't know, Stuart probably knows. What does this do, the vinegar, adding to it?
It actually adds a bit of colour.
Yeah.
It gives it a bit of colour, but also a bit of sharpness and... gives it a crispiness as well.
Fantastic. OK, so should we get on to making the batter? So what do you do? Whisk it all together?
Whisk it all together.
Lovely.
It should be the consistency of a good double cream.
OK, and that's looking...
You don't want it too thick.
So it's just that's looking good. Now, is there anything I can do now? Do you need me to get fish or potatoes?
Yes, sir. I tell you, if we chill that one down in the fridge...
So this needs about 20 minutes chilling?
About 20 minutes to chill.
Fantastic. OK. So while that's happening... You're going to move on to the chips.
Yes.
Now, chips, very, very important. With the chips, what potato do you use?
We use only it's a Finland Morris Piper.
Yep.
I think Morris Pipers, they make the best chip.
OK.
They've got the right amount of starch and sugar levels.
And you just cut... And let's have a look at this. I love watching the experts sort of thing.
I don't know about an expert, Tom. Okay, I'll do my best today. A good chip, really, you want it to be about 3 inches long. Try and keep them uniform in size.
And you want a nice, fat British chip, none of this French fries rubbish.
Exactly.
This is British food.
You really want them about ½ an inch in thickness.
Fantastic. What would happen when you've done those potatoes? What do you do next to get the chips? What's the next stage?
Next, I'll actually prep the fish, Tom.
Yep. OK, lovely. What do we've got here? Here's the batter here. Now, do we need to get the chips in?
No, not quite.
No, they're all
yet.
fine? OK.
What we need to do, first of all, is I've got some lovely Scottish haddock here.
Oh, wow. Now, that's from a good, sustainably bought haddock? Always,
yeah.
You're very good on this. I'll take that.
Check with your fishmonger where the fish has come from.
Because there can be problems with...
Yeah.
What's the most popular fish you sell at Henleys?
It's actually still cod.
Is it cod?
The more south you are, the more people ask for cod and chips.
Of course, haddock is very much a Scottish... Haddock and chips is a very much traditionally Scottish one, isn't it?
The further north you go, the more haddock is sold. In Scotland, probably 80% of fish and chips is...
So it flips from cod down south to haddock up
exactly right.
OK, so you've got the fillet hidden.
Yeah.
Nice what
I like to do is actually take the pin bones out.
Yeah.
Nobody likes bones with their fish and chips. It's quite easy to do. If you're unsure, just ask your fishmonger.
Do you keep the skin on?
I don't like to to be honest.
Fantastic. I mean, that's very much a London thing, isn't it? Or a London area, isn't it? Not keeping...
In Scotland, again, most of the skin will always be off the fillet.
Fantastic,
And,
OK.
I prefer to take it off. Again, ask your fishmonger if you're unsure.
So get your fishmonger to skin, to fillet, and then you've got like this. Lovely.
It's very easy if you want to do it at home.
OK.
Just get a good sharp knife, hold it underneath the tail, and just move the fillet in a zigzag motion, like so. So, there we go. You've got the skin off there.
OK, now, I'll tell you what... So you're now going to chop that. That's not quite the fillet yet, is it?
No. What it is, it's a nice size. You've got about a £1.5 size fillet there.
OK, so you're going to chop that in half because we need to get one, I think, into the batter to get frying out.
You've got a nice thick middle there. What we need to do first is get the chips in.
So what's happened? The potatoes now, you've now blanched them or boiled them to soften them up slightly?
They've been part boiled for about 5 minutes.
OK.
Just to soften them up.
OK.
No longer because they'll lose their shape and start to break up.
Get them in, so they're all going in nicely, very, very nice.
Always try and put them in the basket.
Do you want me to drop the rest of those in when you carry on with the fish?
Yes, please, Tom.
I'll do it very carefully. I won't ruin your masterpiece, I promise you. Just very here. That's not even it.
Just give the fillet a little season.
A little fillet before it goes in, so a little bit of salt. Lovely.
Both sides.
OK.
You want it as dry as possible.
Yeah.
Give it a light dusting in some flour.
Plain flour again.
Plain flour again,
Dust it in the flour.
Dust it in the flour.
It
helps the batter mix to adhere
now
to the fillet.
Now we have your lovely chilled batter.
There we go.
So you just give it a good...
What you need to do is make sure it's actually coated very well, because the secret is we're not actually frying this fish with the batter, sorry. The batter will coat the fish and it will actually steam.
So actually it's a lot, it's a lot healthier than you think. So how long does that go in for?
That will go in for about 4 minutes.
4 minutes, OK. So these have been in for about a minute already.
Yep.
4 minutes, OK. So everything's bubbling away. So this... Oh, look at all that delicious stuff. Now, Stuart, how are you feeling about this with the old... little bit of a trade secret here?
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit nervous, Tom.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I'll be honest.
I think, Stuart, you thought that
I
you were going to go
believe
with
such a
which
dirty
is
dog.
very easy. But...
You brought in a professional fish and chip.
I brought in a ringer. Now, David, that is looking absolutely fantastic. Tell me, is it ready? I really can't hold myself back much longer.
We've turned it about twice now.
OK.
Inside. You can always do a little bit of a test as well. If it starts to float, a lot of moisture's left the fillet, so it's floating. A little knock there, you can tell that it's.
I mean, it looks absolutely
firm.
dry already, doesn't it?
Yep.
Absolutely fantastic. So you're going to drain that on there.
Drain it there for a second. The chips as well.
OK,
you need to do what we call the pinch test.
Yep. What's the pinch test?
The pinch test is if you give it a pinch, it should be nice and crisp on the outside.
Yep.
Nice and fluffy on the inside. Perfect British chip.
Pinching. Absolutely fantastic. OK, let's get this plate on here. And let's plate that up.
So the fish is drained.
Fish golden, crispy, beautiful, steamed inside there.
Yep. Give the chips a good shake. Remove any oil.
And then what are you going to serve it with? What's a classic accompaniment?
I think the best, one of the best and most traditional accompaniments is mushy peas.
Mushy peas. Well, we've got some mushy peas here. Fantastic. We're going to spoon.
Here's a spoon.
Out. There's a spoon. Let's
There's
put that on the plate.
And
bang.
A wedge of lemon.
Wedge of lemon. And lashings of salt and vinegar.
Lashings of salt and vinegar.
There you go. Absolutely perfect British fish and chips. Thank you, David.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Now, is there any more glorious sight in the world than proper British fish and chips? These look absolutely fantastic. Let's get in and try it.
Love it, thank you.
One thing that you might not have known about David is he actually holds the world record for being the fastest chip maker in the world. Quite some record, British, so are you proud of that? How did that happen?
Very proud. To link up with the Guinness Book of Records to peel it, chip it, fry it, serve it.
Oh.
And we did it in 3 minutes, 42 seconds.
Congratulations, that was fantastic. Oh, that's delicious. Matthew, Stuart, what do you think? Mouthful.
Well, I think the mushy peas have got them halfway there, but...
I like the colour of the batter and the nice steamy side of the fish. It's not fried or anything like that. It really is a wonderful.
Nice.
OK,
not
now,
greasy at all.
given a choice, would it be Stuart's or the traditional one?
I think I'm going to have to go for Stuart's. The chips were fantastic, and
Chips and beef
very,
dripping.
very good.
And
I think I'll be a traditionalist and go for Tom's here.
Oh, split decision.
well, it looks to me as if I have the deciding vote, and
Judge Dredd, do your stuff.
the power in my hand. I have to say, Stuart, your fish and chips were my personal favourite.
Oh.
It's the beef dripping that won me over as well. But I'm sorry.
Oh, dear.
Very good then.
There you go. Both two fantastic lots of chips.
Right.
Anyway.
And if you'd like to pass off this recipe as your own, just like Tom has, here's your shopping list.
To make Henleys haddock and chips, you need to head down to the fishmonger for some fresh haddock fillets. From the market, get some Maris piper potatoes, and for the fish batter, you'll need plain flour, baking powder and malt vinegar, and some sunflower oil for the deep fat fryer. Finally, grab some lemon, vinegar and peas to finish it all off.
Ladies, feast. Earlier at the market, food writer Claudia